Since the start of COVID-19, over 1,300 of Australia's live music venues have closed permanently, leaving many upcoming artists struggling and Australia's live music industry in danger. Brisbane-based singer Albie has been pursuing music professionally for the past 2 years and states that making music as a career isn't as simple as it used to be.
I think the overall climate of the world has definitely changed the way people approach live music. Live music, in my experience, it was more a case of if you know that artist and they're having a show, you will go and see them. But I don't necessarily think that there is a big culture of people just going out to see what's on.
She has done one live show in the past year and believes that people are simply not interested in seeing artists if they do not already have a following.
So that makes it a bit hard for up-and-coming artists to really get their name out there, because a lot of the time it'll be their friends and family that show up to their gigs, and then anyone who already knows their name.
She also says that while people aren't going to live shows, it's hard on the artists as well, as it is impossible to support oneself through making music alone, forcing her to work full-time as a legal secretary during the day and pursue music during the night.
The hardest thing about chasing the dream is you can't just do it and support yourself. It's not easy to make money as a musician and to make enough to have a living off. So the hardest thing for me, and why I feel like it's taken me a little while to really get into it, is because I've been working to support myself.
When thinking of the future, Albie's goals are like that of many artists, to make it big. She hopes with the rise of social media she'll be able to achieve her dream someday, despite the lack of live performance opportunities.
I feel like there's hope, but people just have to change their mindset on how, as listeners and as consumers of live music, how they approach it.
But Albie is not the only one facing the harsh realities of making it big in Australia, with many of her views being shared amongst other local artists. 25-year-old Brisbane musician Denver Blue has been trying to pursue music professionally for over 10 years and has decided to take a break from the industry indefinitely.
I've kind of put music on the back burner and decided to focus more on life and trying to build myself up in work, because I've kind of realised music isn't a career that you can really make a lot of money off unless you're really successful, and I just don't have that drive in me anymore.
He states that due to lack of funding for live shows, it's unsustainable for artists to survive off making and performing music alone, and that performing live is just not worth it.
Like I said, you can't make money playing live unless you are very successful. Like for the last show I played, I made, I think it was like $12.50 or something ridiculous like that for half an hour of music, which took me like months to prepare for.
Denver Blue believes the art of live music is dying due to an increased use of mobile phones at shows, which is stopping artists from connecting with potential fans.
My main memory of going to shows when I was younger was it was raw and it was fun. You're just there to scream and enjoy. And nowadays, people are just on their phones, filming or doing other shit. Just not really engaged in what's going on stage as much.
Function supervisor for Cloudland in Fortitude Valley, Jonna DeLeone, states that while they have live shows every week, the nature of them has changed drastically since COVID-19.
It's more of a who knows who kind of situation, so people that are working here, maybe doing a show, will recommend other people that could perform here, and they'll get them in touch with whoever is organising that.
She also states that while the live shows at their venues are very popular, there is significant difference between free shows and paid shows, with more people paying for shows and artists they want to see.
I would say that there is a decrease in live shows, whereas ticketed events are in the opposite of that.
But ultimately, she believes the most one can do to keep the art of live music alive is to go and support local artists.
I think that more people should be interested in helping smaller artists, because the bigger artists already have such a huge crowd. And I think individual artists especially are the ones who need a little bit more.